What is happening, Magnus Sites? Magnus Site Gamers. So, Scarlo is in the middle of playing the first one. Why would you let her watch this thing? Well, first of all, this says no story spoilers. She's already watched stuff on it anyway, although she hasn't watched any spoilers, of course.
Nope, I still don't know anything about...
Nope.
Nothing.
That's right.
Nothing.
Whenever she finishes the first one, this is how it will happen. So, babe, now that you're finished, are you interested at all in reading or seeing any leaks? She will answer me. And then from there, you will know whether she will be playing the second one or not.
I think I'm starting to gear towards wanting to know after I play. And it's not because of what anyone is saying. It's because I'm enjoying the game now so much that I don't want to waste my time if it's something that I'm not going to enjoy.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So yeah. I would want to kind of know what I'm going to be up against.
That's what a lot of people are saying. so that's why a lot of people read and looked at them. So
yeah.
Then there's people that think, no, well, if you're a true fan, you'll buy it and play the game all the way through. It's just not true. In life, it's not black and white.
Yeah.
Life is shades of gray.
Yep.
And you can do one thing for many reasons. There may be several reasons why one checks out the leaks and someone does not. So It doesn't matter. Let's check this out, dear. The Last of Us Part 2, the final preview that Ron played to play the game. Bar! No story spoilers.
We could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
The Last of Us Part 2 promises a blend of stealth and savagery not seen before from a Naughty Dog game.
Good,
Having now played it for myself, it's
crazy
clear to me
compared to
just
what
how
you
much
play
the
now.
combat
Yes, it
systems
does.
evolve when compared to the original. Not to mention how dynamic each fight can be. There's a brutality yet fragility to each engagement that make them a thrill to negotiate, but also intrinsically linked to the larger themes at play.
Right?
Maybe we want to play on
What'd you say? Maybe what?
Maybe we want to play on a PC for like that.
Staying hidden and striking from the shadows is heavily encouraged at the beginning of any encounter. Tall grass is often Ellie's best friend, although it doesn't make her completely invisible to enemies. The AI are smart, let them get too close, and even if you're lying down motionless, they'll spot you, and bad news often follows. Being proactive and constantly on the move proves successful for me, as I bypass some enemies before ultimately having to strike. In my time of The Last of Us Part 2 so far, I've discovered that if one thing is for certain, it's violence. It doesn't want you to necessarily play it like a traditional stealth game, but actively engage in the action and become a violent participant in its world. Even the silent kills speak loudly through violence, as Ellie stabs enemies in the neck as the camera hangs on both of their strained facial expressions. Her victim's eyelids poetically make a few flutters next to the butterfly now tattooed on Ellie's forearm. A familiar but more streamlined crafting menu that offers many more options than the first game directly influences your chosen playstyle. I found the new pistol silencers particularly useful, but kept reminding myself that they only last for 3 bullets at a time. The gunplay in Part 2 feels majorly improved on the previous game's efforts, with every pull of the trigger feeling hefty and purposeful. The way damage is inflicted on you is also more pronounced. Get spotted against the brown cloth-clad scars, and a well-placed arrow may be fired into Ellie's right shoulder. You'll have to tear it out with a grimacing Ellie to prevent the damage it will cause over time. But those few seconds that it grinds her to a halt for will allow for her hunters to surround her. It's a desperate scenario that The Last of Us Part 2 seems to relish putting you in again and again and again. You get a real sense of the impact as Ellie when you're shot in The Last of Us Part 2. Shots leave you temporarily incapacitated and struggling to get back onto your feet. The heavier the caliber of ammunition, the bigger the fall as well. It's another improvement on the original that further makes each encounter feel genuinely life-threatening. Quick Throw is an ability that uses an object to temporarily stagger enemies, allowing you a brief window to go in for a kill. It's particularly useful when faced with onrushing infected. More on them later. It's equally effective on human enemies though, if you want to get in close and sink a melee weapon into them. The sound design adds extra weight to these actions to feel
now she amped.
hacked into. After clearing an area, the freshly blood-soaked Ellie is now free to scan for any items that will aid her in the next battle. They clamber down to the next arena, where a new set of threats patrol, and so begins the violent cycle again.
You have to make your decision when you're done the first one.
Feels different to the last. Sometimes you just don't have the resources to go toe-to-toe firepower-wise, forcing you to slowly and silently take each enemy down one by one. The biggest variable, though, are the enemy types themselves. In the roughly hour-long section I can discuss here, I fought 2 different human enemy factions. The aforementioned mysterious Scars, who favour crippling bows and arrows and heavy melee weaponry. Coming up against these axe or sledgehammer wielders provide moments for the vastly improved melee combat system to shine. For a series of well-timed dodges and strikes, you can eventually get the better of your opponent. They're often bruising affairs where you feel every punch of the blow. The other human enemy group, known as the Wolves, favour guns and utilise attack dogs that sniff you out by following your scent. You can distract the dogs, or if you can put your conscience to one side, eliminate them, making your life a lot easier. Again, I cannot stress how unpleasant a lot of this is. Most unpleasant of all, though, are the infected that roam the city. Even the previously tame runners seem a lot more threatening than before, and require a good few punches into their fungal flesh to take down. The Stalkers also make their return after briefly appearing in the first game, and are more terrifying than ever. A near silent enemy that doesn't show up when using listening mode, and hunt you down in enclosed spaces. Enemy encounters are frequent, but it's credit to Naughty Dog that each one feels different to the last, whether that be down to the variety in enemy type, items at your disposal, or your chosen playstyle. Every fight feels dynamic. You can go in with a plan, but you have to quickly think on your feet as Ellie's cover is blown or a new threat enters the scene. The combat of The Last of Us Part 2 is constantly rotating between heart-pounding tension and brutal butchery, and forms a circle of violence that is wholly unpleasant, but necessary for the story that it's trying to tell.
The biggest gaming event of the year is IGN's Summer of Gaming, and it's almost here. Tune in beginning Thursday, June 4th to see the latest and greatest in game reveals, news, trailers, next-gen coverage, and more. And on June 5th, we kick off our first ever IGN Expo, where you'll get first looks at world premiere game trailers, exclusive game demos, and interviews you won't find anywhere.
Well, what did you think, dear?
From what I can see, I thought it looked pretty cool. It was very graphic, much clearer than the one that I'm playing now. Very detailed. I don't know, like I don't know what to expect. I mean, it looks like right now it looks like something that I would want to play. I guess I would have to wait and see.
Definitely looks like something you'd want to play. Definitely looks like it.
Well, I guess I'll make that decision when I'm done.
Can't lie, I'm very amazed by the game and the gameplay from what I've seen. Like I said, she'll get to make that all-important decision.
I guess we'll
or whether to pull back the curtain or not. And then we will see what her future is like.
We shall see.
Oh boy! Thank you for doing a good job, IGN, of not spoiling anything for Scarlo, and giving us a little preview here. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Game comes out June. I
19th?
forgot. 19th or 16th? I can't remember.
Thought I heard it was the 19th.
It might be 19th. I can't remember.
Correct us if we're wrong.
I knew it was a 10th. I knew that. So,
I thought it was
but I know it's after my birthday, so that's why I was like, okay, 16th or 19th. I think it might be 19th though. Post comments down below. Let us know what you think. And how about this? I'm gonna put a poll up. And I'm gonna say, who thinks when Scarlo is done, she is going to watch the spoilers?
Or not watch
Or
them.
not watch the spoilers. I'm going to put that poll up. I told you, I don't pressure her into anything. I'm going to simply ask a question when she's done. Would you like to see the spoilers? Yes or no? Okay. If she says yes, I will send her links that many of you have sent me. If she says no, I will say okay if you want to play. PlayStation Store is here. Put in your credit card number. Download it and play, dear. Okay. I'll see you later. I'll leave her downstairs to enjoy the new gameplay, graphics, sound, and story. 10 million subscribers!